Welcome to Technically Speaking, the show for the technically challenged. My name is Stephanie, and today we're going to be talking about a new technology. Well, it's not really all that new, but it may be new to you. And if it is, it's something you're really going to wonder how you ever lived without. We're going to be talking about Skype. Skype is a way for you to have free phone calls, video chat, be able to see someone on the other side of the world. We can hook it up on our computers, on our phones, iPads. It's very, very versatile. But I have a special guest with me. And I must say, whenever someone says, I'm not sure how to do this, the first question I ask them is, do you have a teenager at home? Because teenagers know how to do all these things. So I brought my very own teenager to help us here with Skype. Welcome my son, JK.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, well, you know, I see you on Skype all the time. You're walking around with this iPad and you're talking to girls. And
pretty much.
They seem like they're right there in the room. So when I decided to do Skype, you seem to know a lot about it.
I'm your man.
Okay, how many hours a day do you spend on Skype?
I would say on average probably 3.
Oh, that's really scary.
It is very
And what
scary.
are you doing? Hopefully homework? At least a little homework?
I'll say yes for you, Mom.
Okay, well, thank you for indulging me with that yes for me thing. Now, you're too young to know this, but years and years ago, like back in the 80s, let's say, when they would have something and talk about what it was going to be like in the future, the big dream was that one day we would be able to talk on the phone but see the other person. And this was a huge thing, like, wow, we'll be able to, and now we can. And I don't know about you, but whenever somebody wants to do this with me, the first thing I think of is, oh my God, how do I look? I have to put on makeup. And we're going to show our viewers that you can turn it so that you don't see the other person, that you're just talking. But you're younger, you got to tell me, do you actually look at these people or do you just talk?
I don't look at my guy friends, but you know, whenever I'm talking to a girl on Skype, I might as well look good for it, you know.
Oh, so do you dress up? Do you have a whole thing going on?
I don't really dress up, but, you know, a little bit of hairspray here and there, you know how it is.
Okay. I had a Skype interview once, and I'll mention that this is the new thing. Instead of flying people all over the world for interviews, they're supposed to sit in front of their computer, and they get interviewed on Skype. So I was being interviewed, you know, by a prospective client, and then I was looking behind me to make sure that the wall was clean and there wasn't like weird things hanging on. It would have been easier for me to just get in the car, drive 45 minutes to somebody's office building, because this whole thing just freaked me out. So the girls you'll look at, the guys, you just put it on
Voice call, you know.
voice call. What else can you do on Skype besides talk?
On Skype, what I like to do is I put all my guy friends in a group call, and sometimes, fine, we'll do a little bit of homework here and there. Sometimes we'll be able to talk, we'll be able to play internet games all in a group chat room by using Skype as like a link to
Oh, okay,
send
so you could
everything
put
to
like
everyone.
5 guys into one place and work on a science project?
Exactly.
Really? Oh, were they calling you right now?
They're calling me right now.
Okay, well, we got to shut them down and say, forget it, we're busy.
I gotcha.
Now, some of the other things that Skype is really good for, besides our teenagers who spend all their time with it, is that it's free. And it's free to be able to talk to people around the world. Like my stepbrother lives in Costa Rica now. So we can call him up. Now, remember the last time Uncle Robbie called on
That was
Skype?
a while ago, yeah.
And we all kind of squeezed in front of the computer so that he could say hi to you and to Connor and everybody else. And then he was there in Costa Rica, and we could all wave to him. That was a free thing.
Yeah.
You know, free is nice, because calling Costa Rica,
That's costing a lot.
I don't even want to know what it would cost. I'm just going to flip over here to this screen that talks about what is free, because there are paid features with Skype too. Now, from what I understand, if I call someone like your Uncle Robbie who has Skype, if it's Skype to Skype, it's free even though he's in Costa Rica. But I could call him or anybody on a regular phone, Skype to phone, but that has a price.
That has a price.
Okay, so certainly if you want to call someone from around the world, the best thing to do is, you know, send them an email or something telling them to go and download Skype. And once they've downloaded Skype, then you can talk for free. Why would you, I can't imagine why I'd want to pay for all of that.
Well, you wouldn't, and that's why you would download Skype. You know, free service is always better than paying international fees.
And it's nice for, you know, like I mentioned, if somebody wants to do a job interview, or you want to see your Uncle Robbie, or you want to look at all these girls that you know.
You know how it is.
Last year, when your sister was over in Europe for the summer, she would Skype me, because calling from Europe was going to cost a fortune.
Yeah.
But if she just Skyped me, then it was for free. Now, I had a funny thing with Kathleen when this happened. I had my iPad out in the middle of a big conference table. I was running a big meeting, and there was my iPad, and all of a sudden, in the middle of the meeting, she Skyped me. And I've got like all these suits sitting around. And fortunately, I had just said to them that my daughter was in Europe, and, you know, we're just talking about kids and such. And then all of a sudden, she called, and I kind of froze up, and one of the guys said, "You have to take that." And I felt kind of funny, and I pushed the button, and I said, "Hi, sweetie, I'm at a meeting." And she looked around, because you could see the room. She's like, "Oh, I'll call back." And I was like, 10 minutes. So do you ever have an embarrassing Skype moment, besides your friends calling you while we're filming, technically speaking?
Well, I have my friend Natalie, and we Skype a lot. And we both are in the same dance class, so we both play guitar, we sing and dance and stuff.
Okay.
So once we were on Skype, and she said she'll be back in a couple minutes. So while she was gone, I turned off my mic and her mic so I couldn't hear what she was saying. And I grabbed my guitar and I started playing. And I never really noticed when she came back.
So you forgot about her.
I forgot that she was there. So 15 minutes later, I looked at the screen to go on the internet or watch a YouTube video or something, and there she was, recording everything I was doing.
And what'd she do with that recording?
She put it on YouTube.
Okay.
It's not going well.
Let me ask you a question. You were playing the guitar, you were singing. Did you keep your clothes on?
I did keep my clothes
Okay.
on.
This is
The
good.
important things.
Because it could have been worse. It could have been much worse. I also use Skype because I have clients all over the world. So I have one client who's in the Philippines, and we'll arrange in advance. He'll send me an email, and they're exactly 12 hours from here. So we'll either Skype each other at 9 in the morning or at 9 at night, figuring that if I Skype and it's 9 in the morning here, it's 9 at night there, and we'll figure it all out. And sometimes we get the date wrong because of the international date line, but at least we'll get it together, and we'll go on Skype and have a whole conversation.
Yeah.
But it's funny. We don't do the whole video thing. We just talk. I don't care what he looks like. You know, it's not like your girlfriend's. I don't want to know what he looks like. It's just fine.
I gotcha.
So Skype is used for friends, for teens, for business. I know businesses that they don't even use phones anymore. They just Skype.
Wow.
You know, it's free. Free is
It's
always
a lot easier.
good. Your grandmother has sometimes wanted to use it because if she doesn't see you kids for a long time, she figures you could see how much you've grown. Look, Grandma, I won this award at school. Weren't you telling me some funny story about a guy and his little nephew?
Yeah, so there was this guy named Peter, and he had a little nephew in New York, but he was away on a business trip in Washington, D.C. So while he was away, he was on Skype with his nephew, and his nephew wanted a little toy to play with. So he grabbed one of his socks, put it on his arm, and used it as a puppet to talk to his nephew.
Okay, that's cute.
Now, after that, he came up with the idea to make fake Skype accounts that are operated by little puppets that are able to talk to little kids whenever they want a friend to talk to.
So little kids log on and talk to strangers that are shaped like a puppet.
It's a very interesting marketing plan.
Okay, it's a little bit creepy.
It is.
It is definitely a little bit creepy, but I'm glad somebody's making money off of this. Okay, so we can do video calls, we could do free calls around the world. You're going to also show us how we can send text messages. You mentioned a group.
A group call.
Like a whole bunch of people working on their science project. Okay, all those kinds of things. Let me just flip back over to here. Skype is free. If you're going to be putting it on a laptop, you would just go to skype.com, SKYPE.com, and just click on free download. You could also put it on an iPhone or any cell phone, an iPad, so you can have Skype with you. In those cases, you just go to like the App Store and download it onto your thing. I will make one little mention, just because this happened right before we filmed and you know what it is. I asked JK if he could download Skype onto this computer, because this computer didn't have it. And in the process of downloading Skype, and this, by the way, can happen to anybody. I won't make fun of you too much. But, and it probably has happened to many of our viewers. If you click on something for a free download, I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but you get a whole lot of pop-ups asking you, do you want this? Do you want that? Well, I think that he was busy talking to his mother and just said yes to 13 programs that downloaded onto my computer.
Including Skype.
Including Skype. Okay, 12 plus Skype. So Please be aware when you're downloading things onto your computer.
Don't say yes to everything.
What's that thing about drugs? Just say no. You need to learn to say no, okay?
I'm not a no person.
I did get them all off. So here we are on the website. So you would just come here to Skype.com. You will see different things about prices. The prices, as I mentioned, were if you're Skype calling a phone. But we're going to demonstrate how to Skype to Skype. Now, of course, when we demonstrate this, you and I are sitting across a table.
Yeah.
And we're going to be telling our viewers that you could do this around the world, but you and I are sitting across a table. It's kind of quirky. But,
So distance.
But it certainly will work. So before we get started, go to your computer, go to Skype.com, download the app right onto your computer, or if you'd rather do it from a cell phone, so you can be all ready to learn how to use Skype with us.